alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Sanamgela kunallah, INX Prime. Greeting you on this amazing Friday evening is myself, Mimuna Mapena.
I am Zarif Menti.
And I am Nazia Wadi.
And together we are your hosts from the time being 6 all the way to 8 o'clock. Now, this is the best way to start off your weekend because you close off by getting inspired and motivated. Probably, who knows, you could start up writing this weekend. Welcome back, viewers at home. You're definitely tuned in right here on INX Prime. Now, for the past 12 years, Claude Phiri has dedicated his expertise to the realm of training and development, passionately aiding individuals and organizations in reaching their goals. A firm believer in the power of continuous learning, Claude specializes in crafting tailored training programs designed to address specific client needs. These programs are not just interactive and engaging, but also yield measurable outcomes, aligning precisely with clients' objectives. On that note, allow me and help me to welcome my guest this evening. Good evening and welcome to Prime Live.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Phiri, let's start about, 4 decades in the business world. Can you tell us a bit about your journey as well as your transition to now featuring in the industry of training and development?
Interesting. I started off as a research assistant in psychology for 4 years. That's many years ago. I was helping professors and, doctor this and doctor that with their research. But at the time, my passion was in accounting, which I did. Then I went to some training in accounting and did some work in accounting and finance and all of that. But as I grew older, my passion started to shift towards helping other people become better, achieve their goals, and helping other people, dream bigger and help them achieve those dreams. That's how I ended up in training, which I love passionately.
So this is your ultimate dream. You're basically living your dream at this moment.
Yes. I come into myself when I'm training, whether I'm training one person, whether I'm training a group, whether I'm speaking at a conference to 1,000. For me, I feel like that's where I should be.
Now, Mr. Phiri, my next question to you is how do you create customized training programs for your clients, as well as what makes your approach different from others out there?
Many years ago, I learned about the definition of a teacher.
Okay.
And to be honest, I don't remember where I learned it from. But it goes something like a teacher is one who takes what looks complicated or what may in fact be complicated, makes it so simple that even the simplest of minds can understand.
Oh, that's deep.
And for years now, I've lived with that principle that I will simplify learning. Life is complicated enough as it is. There's so many challenges. So at least when you come to learning and development, let's simplify that part. So that's usually my passion. I want to try and help whoever it is I'm interacting with understand the concepts or the ideas or whatever it is that we may be discussing at the time.
Now let's talk about something else. Like, what is? I didn't even know that you were a speaker. I'm thinking you're more of the training, but I feel like when you train people, you speak a lot.
Yes.
But what then inspired you to become a professional speaker?
Because of the training I do ordinarily, I am a speaker. And several years ago, I came across the Professional Speakers Association of Southern Africa, which I joined. I'm a professional member. So that's the part that brought me into realizing you could actually do a lot more as a professional speaker.
Then another question is, usually we listen to people talk and you're like, their speeches are not really touching or engaging much. How do you make sure that whatever you say or whatever you project is something that is received by the audience and it's something that, it keeps them so attentive to what you have to say?
Okay, goes back to an earlier question that you asked about how you make your training material or training interventions relevant. First, you must understand the need of your client. That's the starting point. Because sometimes we come up with ideas and solutions which may not speak to the needs of the people that you are speaking with. It's like me scratching on your wrist and you are itching on this side of your elbow. So it doesn't help.
Becomes
So the
futile.
starting point is understanding first and foremost what the need is or what the needs are. And then based on that, you craft a solution or an intervention or a speech that speaks to the audience. One of the key ideas is to use stories because a lot of people do resonate with stories and they can remember points and ideas that you've put across because they remember the story.
Wow, that is quite interesting. Now, Mr. Phiri, you know, I think when I started my intro, I should have said, Mr. Phiri, jack of all trades, because not only are you in training and development, not only are you a professional speaker, but you also authored 10 books. Can you tell us a bit about the books that you've authored and what is your main message and what do you aim to achieve through your books?
The first two are motivational and inspirational. Those two usually I recommend that people buy them as a combo because they come from the point of view of regardless of what your background may have been, regardless of what your circumstances will, may have been, you still can make and reach your goals. There are other books in between that speak about different things. I worked for many years in the non-governmental, non-profit making sector, and there's a book that I've written specifically to help those that are doing, project funded, donor-funded projects and things like that. The latest one is a fully academic book, The Qualitative Research Made Easy. We were launching it just last month.
Oh, congratulations.
And yeah, it's picking up traction, and I focus specifically on the qualitative side of research to help those studying management courses, MBA or MPhil and others. Yeah.
That is quite interesting. And now seeing that not only do you train and develop others, but you have this passion to assist others to also succeed in whatever endeavors that they want to succeed in. I want to know, like, what inspired or what passionate or where does that passion come from for you to want others to succeed? Because I think we live in a generation where people are gatekeeping a lot, where somebody will have a recipe for success and they'll just keep it one side and make sure they succeed alone. But with you, it's different. You want to share the recipes of success with many individuals out there.
True success is shared success. True success is always group success. I don't believe in the saying that somebody has made himself or herself. There is no self-made person, never. Because for that person to get to where they were or they are at, there will always have been somebody that propped them up, that pushed them, that cushioned them, that supported them, encouraged them, sometimes even rebuked them, but so they could get back onto the right path, or so, those sorts of things. So. I think that it's important that all of us do reach the best that we can. And if I can contribute to helping somebody else reach their goal, then I feel like, yeah, I'm making a positive contribution to society.
Now, there's something I just want your opinion on. I mean, earlier on I read that you believe that continuous learning contributes to success. If you can elaborate for us, how does this come about? The
moment you stop learning, it's the moment you start dying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we are supposed to be learning every single day. That's the beauty of an industry like where I am, because every single day you learn something new and you keep adding to your knowledge. You never reach a place where you've got enough wisdom, you've got enough knowledge. There's no monopoly for wisdom and for knowledge. So it's available for anybody who wants to seek it. And so we always must keep learning, because the more we learn, the more we realize that we don't know. And then we want to learn more so that we may learn more, so we may know more. And it's a continuous journey until you die.
Now, Mr. Phiri, there's another model that you have. It's called the Pearl. Can you just explain to us, just so that even regular anybody who's not so intelligent or well educated can understand the whole model behind the Pearl, as well as how does it assist the likes of teams as well as leaders to succeed?
It's a good question. You don't have to be intelligent to understand the Pearl leadership model.
Okay.
I use an example of a professor who is the best at killing mosquitoes in the world, number one, the very best. Anyone who really has had trouble killing a particular mosquitoes calls upon this professor. Because he's the best at killing mosquitoes, they decide, let's create a department around him so that people can work with him so we can kill more mosquitoes. Unfortunately, all of the 20 people that they put in his department leave within 3 months.
Okay.
because he has not learnt to live with people, to work with people. I did a post on LinkedIn not long ago, and I said sometimes organizations and institutions set up our line managers to fail.
Oh, okay.
We appoint them,
Apologies about that. We're having load shedding, but you may continue.
we appoint them into these big positions, and then we don't train them how to live, how to lead people. Remember that we don't manage people, we lead people. People have, they have feelings, they have emotions, you cannot manage them. You lead people and you manage stuff like chairs, you can manage the equipment and all of that. So the model comes from the understanding that a lot of times in our organizations, institutions, we lack those key elements, the soft skills, so-called. I don't even know why they call them soft skills. So the PEARL model signifies, it's a training model actually. The P stands for personality, leading using your personality. You have a personality that is unique from anybody else. That's just you. And if you use that personality to communicate, to relate, to reach to, whoever it is you want to reach, you are likely to succeed. We talk about the E, which is the emotional intelligence. Ooh. And in some organizations now, especially for very senior positions, you won't get the job if you are not, if you don't score highly on emotional intelligence. Because you can be highly educated, but you can be an educated fool because you do not know how to relate with people. And the A is an attitude. I don't see many courses that have been written on attitude. I focus specifically on managing attitudes, your own attitude and the attitude of other people. Remember, attitude is everything.
Okay.
And see if we learn that, then we should be able to relate and lead teams better. And then we talk about leadership communication and the resilience that leaders need. There are not many times when people will come to you when you are down and you're a leader, and they will help you up and they will motivate you, so to speak. So you've got to get to a place where you self-motivate, because there will be times when you need to do it yourself because nobody will do it for you. That's the essence of the PEARL model.
This is quite a very important model, because I think many organizations feel like, when it comes to personality, emotional intelligence is never really the issue. They're more focused on meeting the targets in terms of making profits, amongst other things. But it's quite beautiful to see that this model actually highlights, basically it equips the manager themselves so that they can best lead those who are below them. But my next question to you is, I want to know your future plans when it comes to the training and development industry.
Write more books. I have, I think, 4 or 5 that are in the offing that I want to publish before the end of the year. One of the books I've written is a fiction one.
Okay.
Inspired by my 18-year daughter. That was my first fiction, and so I have 4 sequels that will follow that one. The story is already laid in my head. I've got the ideas, I just need to put pen to paper.
Are you sure you're not going to forget them, or you always remember them? Because I know usually when you have an idea, you always have that urge to jot it down.
The notes are somewhere. And they are also, if it's here and if it's here, you're not likely to forget. Amazing,
amazing. Mr. Phiri, thank you so much for joining us. Is there any words of motivation or some closing words you'd like to share with our viewers at home?
Remember, the rest of your life starts now.
Remember, the rest of your life
starts now. It doesn't matter what yesterday was, what 10 years ago was. The rest of your life starts now. You can decide now how the rest of your life will go.
Mr. Phiri, again, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We wish you
for
nothing
having
but
me.
the best.
Thank you.
Because your best will definitely benefit us at all.
Thank you very much.
Viewers at home, that was Mr. Claude Phiri with 4 decades of experience. I mean, what more do you need? I mean, the PEARL model for me, it took me away. But on that note, let's head over to an